Hello and welcome back to God Lives Within, Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. Coming on with a brief message. It's a message I have talked about in previous videos, but the time for it to be relevant and to be in the eyes and ears of the chosen and of the elect is now, for sure. Daddy has been pounding it home these last 2 days to put down your swords against one another, to stop fighting each other, to stop arguing with each other. It doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong. We all love and serve the Lord, our God, and as such, none of us knows it all. We will all make mistakes. We will all get details wrong about this ascension journey, about what's going on in the world, about everything. There is no absolute. There is no one person better than another. There's only God in this hour, whether you like it or not. This is the point we've come to. Society has dragged us into the pit of hell. Our leaders, be it government, corporate, or church, doesn't matter. They've all failed us miserably. Every one of them has put themselves before others. I don't care what the words come out of their mouths. Their actions speak way louder than their words. Sorry, I got some funny stuff going on my screen. It's like the clouds are doing something in the background. But anyway, where was I? We're all equal. In fact, we're all a little piece of God. We all have God inside of us, living and dwelling, waiting to guide us, waiting to be our compass, waiting to be our leader instead of these false animals that are currently leading the world. I've said all along, and I'll continue to say, I don't know where all this is going on. The sky. I've said it all along, and I'll say it again. It's going to take God to finish this spiritual war. Maybe man assist him in this plan, but without God, you are all going to be slaves or dead right now. I don't care what you have to say about it. It's just the truth. There's too much evidence out there. Lockstep was proven during the lockdowns and the pandemic. If you don't know what lockstep is, if you don't know about the Rockefellers, do some research. If you don't know about germ theory, brought to you by the Rockefellers, do some research. The days of bringing these demons to light is over for me. All right. Just received a job offer, but little do they know, these beings who aren't connected to God, what time period we're even living in. I'm about to ascend to heaven, and you think I'm worried about a 9-to-5 job that can barely pay my bills? See, these demons, they finagled the system. They planned every detail to its finest point. They sculpted society to be separated from God. And therefore, to have to lean on to someone else to be their God. What is called a false idol. The plan worked to perfection. Most people on this earth running around are separated from God, are living in fear. If you're living in fear, you have no God working inside of you. Of course, God is always there, but He is not. God doesn't work in the left brain. God works in the right brain, the love hemisphere, not the fear hemisphere. I don't know what's going on with my skin. Anyway, I lost where I was headed for this message. Hold on. So yeah, Daddy has heard enough of the arguing, the infighting, especially among His chosen and His brethren. Mostly the chosen aren't going to be involved in arguing at this point. We fully understand the mission. We're living in purpose. Therefore, hey, Daddy. Son, Daddy's coming out to say hey. Therefore, we don't argue, we don't fight, we don't try to be right, we don't have to prove ourselves. We have a knowing, a gnosis on the inside that's called God, that confirms whether we're right or wrong. We don't even care if we are, other than to help others. We don't want to spread lies or misinformation. So if we don't know for sure, we don't say. And this is how the chosen work. They don't operate from ego. They've transcended the ego. In fact, they detest the ego. I have my whole life. I didn't understand it my whole life, what was going on, until recently, until this ascension journey. But trust and believe, I've hated the ego my entire life. It repulses me. It makes me sick. It makes me nauseated. In fact, these days, I'll turn and walk away from you and never see you again. And yes, that is extreme judgment, but I don't have time for it anymore. It's nothing personal. Just I'm not going to let somebody else's vibration affect me, my vibration, or what I'm trying to do. Therefore, just as I turned off the nightly news a decade ago, it's hard to believe it's almost been a decade since we started this. Dang, Daddy. Oh, what a journey. Wow. Now I come to the end point, and I'm exhausted, if you want to know the truth. put my heart, my soul, and my mind into figuring this stuff out, into living my truth, into purifying my vessel, my temple. And as we get to the finish line, Daddy is speeding things up, but either way, I'm exhausted. Now, we're gonna go over this real quick, because this may help people in the future, I don't know. But, right now, this current week we're in, no, actually, I'm not gonna talk about this. I'm gonna let them go through with what they're gonna do. It's their choice, it's their life, it's their free will. Therefore, what comes to them after the fact, the judgment that comes upon your head, it was your doing. Stop blaming me. I'm living a life in solitude, in reverence, and in service. And why you choose to blame me and to bring your issues to my door, I have no idea. I don't even know who these people are, nor do I care who they are. Because guess what? I prayed to God to handle you. I prayed to God to stop these witches, these warlocks, this coven that's coming against me. I prayed to God for protection. And I sent back all your spells. And how did I do that? Through God. I didn't do it. I cried out for Daddy. And Daddy answered. As he always does, even when you don't hear him. He's there, he answers. So yeah, I was gonna go into something else. There'll be plenty of time to talk about it later. I'm not worried about that. It's what's happening currently behind closed doors. It's these demons' next shot at trying to overthrow God, or whatever they're trying to do at this point. I have no idea. They've been trying to kill me, but it just hasn't worked. And so, you would think they would learn. But for some reason, these demons are very stubborn, very greedy, and don't know when to stop. That orb. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway. So yeah, anyway, we're sticking to the main message on this video. We're not going into that. The past 2 days, Daddy has said, stop, you're fighting, it doesn't matter. Who's right and who's wrong? We all have parts of it wrong. We all need each other to make the story come together, to make it whole, to make it make total sense, for it to line up with God's truth. We're gonna have to use each other. We're gonna have to come together. It was created that way for a reason. Together we are. Together, none of this, what's going on in today's world, would have ever happened. It just wouldn't have. Now, did they do it covertly? Did they do it through lies and manipulation? Of course. Do they own everything in the world? Of course. At this point, it's next to impossible to overthrow them. This is why I say it's going to take God. When 88% of your stock market S&P is owned by 3 companies, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, then you know. Then you know that they have a vice grip around our necks. Because what does it mean that they own 90% of all the corporations and all the stock certificates of these corporations? They have control of these corporations at that point. They can just decide who's a CEO and who's not. These CEOs think they have power. No, you don't. This president of the United States thinks he has powers. No, you don't. Mr. Klaus Schwab. And the other ones. The other man is escaping my memory right this second. But anyhow. Just tag on the name. Anyway. So yeah. That's what we're up against, people. And not only do they own 90% of the stock market, they have representatives at every level of government. City, state, town, national. They have it all covered. International. Every post, they have their people in. Bought, paid for, bribed. And under control. So that's it for today's message. It really could have been done in about a minute video, but I don't think half you beings understand what's going on in this spiritual war. Therefore, we have to go into depth and into details of what's happening, and we have to dance around that due to censorship. But it is what it is at this point. We have to come together. Like I said, these people, these beings, they control everything. They're a satanic group that works together. It serves a different master than us. These beings these BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street beings, demons I should say, to put it into perspective, how much power these 3 companies have that own 88% of the stock market, the S&P. There's only 2 countries that generate more revenue than these companies. US and China. That is how much power these people have. So while you think the president is in charge and you think your senators are making good laws for you and this, that, and the third, what these beings, these three companies say is what goes. Plain and simple. They pull one string and you're gone. You're dead, you're fired, you're removed, you're blackmailed, you're smeared in the media. They own it all, they can do it all. It's been working for a long time. Finally the day has come where God said enough. You selfish, you greedy, you demonic beings. What is wrong with you? Managing $10 trillion in funds and still have to control everything that's going on in the world. I guess this is what happens when you get too rich. You lose sight of God, you lose sight of the heart inside your body. And you lose sight of compassion for others. So for us, for the godly beings out there, stop the infighting. Doesn't matter at this point who's right or who's wrong, because it's time. A lot of people say that there's a rapture that's getting ready to happen. And the truth be told, I don't know what's about to happen. What I think is about to happen is an ascension process on a global scale, not a rapture. I think God's going to use this this battlefield, that is the earth, as a soul refining ground to bring souls back home to Him. Because the choice will be the hell that you see in front of you or the heaven that these beings are trying to guide you towards and that are already in. When it says the chosen are protected and sorry, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's going to be an ascension process. I don't think all the Christians are going up in the sky and leaving Earth. Sorry. Sounds completely dumb. Heaven. Oh, now some may be pulled up to heaven and may say they're done with this. But I think all in all, God has huge heart. I think He has seen it all, what the enemy has done. And He's going to give his sons and daughters every benefit of the doubt. He's going to make you declare and live which side you're on. But that's your choice. But I don't think God is coming back and taking all the good Christians away, and the Muslims and the Jews and I mean, that's a ridiculous story. Good God, that's ridiculous. If you believe that, I don't know what to tell you. You're brainwashed. For if you look into all these religions, you'll see they're all pointing to the same thing. They're all teaching the same things. There may be different variations, which they're going to be. Different variations of God's truths, no matter what it is. But to think that God is coming back and just taking the Christians because they has to be saved, and then gonna leave the rest to deal with the hell and torment that goes on here on earth? I don't freaking think so. I grew up a Christian. I don't think so. It's never. A lot of the faith, a lot of the doctrine, I should say, has never sat too well with me. Seems more like programming than love frequency from the Lord. Anyhow, I'm lost. Got off on tangents, and really I need to get off. So, the main message: stop the infighting. Can we at least just do that one thing for God? Stop arguing with one another about who's right, who's wrong, who's Democrat, who's Republican, why it's right or why it's wrong. Let God decide what's right and what's wrong. He's about to show you. That's all I have for this video. I suggest you go deep into prayer and deep inside yourself in meditation to commune with God. And to heal thyself and know thyself in order to be able to help others. Because if you haven't done this work, not only are you not going to be helping others, you probably will lead others astray. Therefore, God wants you to stop bickering with one another over details that you really don't even know anything about. More than likely, these details are lies of the world, meaning you're arguing over lies. That it doesn't even matter. It's not even the truth. But we spend our time wanting to be right through the ego. Anyhow, thank you for listening. Sorry for the drawn out video. But the message is completely timely, completely necessary for what's about to happen. Good luck to you all. Repent now, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Love one another. It's not that hard. Beat your ego into submission to the point where somebody else can come up and rub in your face that you're wrong, even though you're right, and you don't even need to say a word. All you do is smile. because it doesn't even matter who's right and who's wrong. It only matters who's connected to God at this point. There is going to be no more right and wrong. There's going to be one frequency left. The other one's getting beat like a drum right now. If you don't know what I mean, I'm sorry. Go back and watch other videos. I'm not going in a new direction at this point. Anywho, stay safe, brethren. Children of God. Israel. Know that we are all one. Know that every religion came from the same place. Know that every human being came from the same place. Why are we fighting? Why are we greedy? Why are we sinning? Why do we not have love inside of our heart anymore? Because we let the enemy in. And now he's running the world. He's gotten out of hand to the point where God has to come back. And yes, that is the truth. He is completely out of hand. Satan has done a number to this earth. But that time is almost over. Where we can finally relax. There'll be plenty of work to do, but we can finally relax once God comes back. That much I know. Thank you for listening. Till next time, God lives within.